Discussing exit poll results, and one of the big points being debated is also how brand Modi has trumped brand Rahul once again. The only place where it failed is Punjab, where the Congress under Amrinder Singh and the Aam Aadmi Party under Arvind Kejriwal are in a neck-and-neck battle for power. The BJP had made Modi its face in the elections in Uttar Pradesh. So what is it that makes brand Modi so special? Is the verdict a vindication of how Prime Minister Modi hard sells his development plan? And what explains his popularity vis-a-vis the other leaders? Should the verdict be seen as a vindication of the PM's decisions, including demonetization? We're now joined by Harish Bijur, a brand expert who joins us from Bengaluru. Then also we have Sharad Gupta, he's a senior journalist. And also we have WION's chief domestic correspondent, Kartikesh Sharma. Let me come over to you first, Mr. Bijur. From a raging Hindu nationalist to India's most popular Prime Minister candidate, the evolution of brand Modi has been nothing short of spectacular. What is your take on this, sir?
Oh yes, spectacular is possibly an understatement of a word. Because I think Mr. Modi's image has really galloped over the last decade. The basic idea simply is this, that Mr. Modi's image has gone through an Amrit Manthan of sorts. Because, from Gujarat of yesteryears, his image, which was, riled like nobody's business, to today, I think he's emerged as the brand patriarch of India. And I think Mr. Modi has done very well on that count.
So also let me ask you, what makes brand Modi more popular than the other political brand leaders there?
I define the brand very simply in my book, and I call it the brand is a thought that lives in persons' minds, people's minds. So to that extent, brand Modi is a thought, and this thought is a thought that has been crafted, very technically speaking, from being a politician to a chief minister twice over and maybe more, and to now being the prime minister. So this crafting is what distinguishes the brand from what it was to what it is today. Mr. Modi is perceived to be a larger-than-life brand, a patriarchal brand, a statesman brand in this situation. How has this happened? Through very crafty crafting. And I would use the word crafting for sure.
Mr. Sharad, let me come over to you now very quickly. Do you agree with Mr. Bijou there? I mean, what's your take on brand Modi?
In fact, there is only one brand now. There is no other brand in BJP. And in fact, BJP has lost its brand value. So whatever it is brand Modi now. In fact, I asked once during these UP elections, I asked one of the BJP leaders, who are your main campaigners? So they said, number one, Narendra Modi, number two, Amit Shah. I said, who is number three? He said, there is no number three. We are just two campaigners, number one Narendra Modi and number two is Amit Shah. So that way, it was just Narendra Modi and Narendra Modi. The entire election revolved around Modi. It started during 2014 Lok Sabha elections, and it has continued since then. In fact, all assembly elections after that have been contested in the name of Modi, and the brand is building. With every passing election, the brand is getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, also let me ask you, a lot of people have said that demonetization might have affected brand Modi, but these exit polls indicate that is not the case. What's your take on that?
In fact, demonetization did dent a bit, but more than that, it pleased majority of people. Now, in fact, UP and Bihar are the states which are known to be divided on caste lines. But Modi ensured, through demonetization, he ensured that the society is now not only divided on caste lines, more than that, it is divided on economic lines. So those who are economically well off, they are in a minority, whereas people who are economically deprived, they are in a majority, and they are happy with demonetization because they feel that those who were well off had earned their wealth through different means. And now, since demonetization has dented their wealth, so the poor are happy with brand Modi, that he has brought those sitting on high pedestals down to earth, along with the other hoi polloi.
Okay, Mr. Baju, let me quickly come over to you now. Do you think brand Modi has been taken to the next level thanks to social media?
I think so. Social media has contributed very heavily for building a brand Modi. But, social media at the end of the day is actually anecdotal media as far as I'm concerned. Because, the number of people who actually use social media is not that large as we all imagine it to be. So there are two pieces of mediums. One is the real medium, the other is the virtual medium. And the virtual medium is social media. Social media is opinion-making media, and it works within a particular class set and within a particular income set even. The real politics of this country is governed at the grassroots level. So to an extent, Mr. Modi is possibly one prime minister of this country who has transcended being a power source only in one of these mediums. He is a power source in both the mediums. He is as good as at the grassroots level as he is at the level of the internet and digital mediums which actually partake and pervade the medium of the internet as such. So I think he's transgressed it and he's straddled it very, very solidly. And the one single persona being Narendra Modi.
Right. Mr. Sharad, let me come over to you now. Of course, social media has played a part in brand Modi to some extent, at least. I mean, he has made a contact with the youth. He's directly spoken to them. So do you think that social media has helped brand Modi go to the next level?
Of course, he is the most followed person, most followed politician across the world. He has more followers than even Obama and Donald Trump. So that way, social media has contributed majorly to his popularity, and he also harnesses the power of social media very well. He has been tweeting, he has been posting on Facebook, and means in every way, whatever he does, he has a team of people who manage his social media accounts, and he has kept the next generation, the new generation, completely engaged.
So, sir, why do you think the other leaders like Akhilesh Yadav or Rahul Gandhi, why do you think they haven't used social media to the same extent that Prime Minister Modi has?
It's not only about using social media, it's also about how you engage them. Means the content and there's so many things. So social media technologies, Modi has actually mastered the art of using social media to gain momentum in every election and otherwise also. It's not only about elections. Every day from morning to evening, he is there on the social media. So that's how people identify with him. Whereas, in fact, the only person besides Modi who has been harnessing power of social media is Arvind Kejriwal.
Right. Mr. Biju, let me come over to you now. How do you see brand Rahul Gandhi? I mean, how strong is that brand in your opinion?
Brand Rahul Gandhi has actually evolved over the years. And I think the decimation of the Congress party has actually helped him evolve. And I think, the brand Rahul that we see today is far away from the old brand Rahul, who was riled and trolled on Twitter, etc. Rahul Gandhi has started to represent a proportion of the audience which lives in India. And guess what? I think he has also grabbed onto the coattails of issues which the smaller India or the subset of all of India is really talking about. So to an extent, I think Rahul Gandhi will represent, not yet, he does not represent as yet, but I think he'll represent into the future the contra or the opposition to the views and the ethos of Mr. Narendra Modi. And when I say this, I'm really saying the ethos of Mr. Narendra Modi, because Mr. Narendra Modi is the superset. And within that superset is the subset of the political party, which is the Bharatiya Janata Party. And within that subset of the Bharatiya Janata Party lies the core of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the RSS as well. So if you really look at it, Rahul Gandhi has evolved. And I think if you look back at the last 5 years, he has evolved quite distinctly.
Right. And Mr. Sharad, how do you think brand Modi stacks up against brand Rahul Gandhi?
Means Rahul is young compared to Modi, but he has not been able to harness the power of social media to the extent Modi has done, or as I said, Arvind Kejriwal has done. So, in fact, it all depends on a person's activities also. Means Rahul is not as consistent as others. Like even when Arvind Kejriwal was on sabbatical or he was having naturopathy treatment for his asthma, so he was still present on the social media, which is not the case with Rahul. Rahul completely abstains from public fora altogether. After every elections, he goes off on leave or whatever. And similarly, if he is not present there in physically, so he abstains from social media as well. So that's how differentiates between, that is what differentiates Modi from Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, so let me just quickly come over to Mr. Bijur. Mr. Bijur, is the Rahul Gandhi brand relying more heavily on Akhilesh Yadav brand to earn benefits? Do you see that happening?
Well, in this UP situation, of course, the two of them got together because I think Akhilesh Yadav clearly had it in his mind to say that the old combination and the old concoction of Mulayam Singh Yadav and the party that he represents will not go anywhere. So at that point of time, I think, the two brands got together and we had this usual, the UP ke ladke kind of a cinnamon, which is actually dominated the mindsets of a large numbers of people. He tried to use youth. He tried to use vitality. He tried to use, the combination of two young people together, which is Akhilesh plus Rahul. Who is holding on to whose coattails? Only the future will tell us. And the future is just about, maybe 8 hours away from where we are standing, if not 12 hours. So if you really look at it, I think both played a gamble. And I think both hung on to each other's coattails. Who was riding the cycle and who had the hand on the cycle, we don't know as yet.
Right. Mr. Sharad, both Rahul and Akhilesh were playing the youth card. Now, given these exit polls, it seems like it might, obviously exit polls are not always right, but according to these exit polls, it might be the case that that factor hasn't really worked for them. What's your take on this, sir?
No, they did present the youth, they did represent the youth, but as we saw during 2014 elections, the youth was captivated by Modi. In fact, the job promises and employment opportunities, Make in India campaign, startup campaign. So there were so many things which Modi offered, and these things kept the youth spellbound. So I feel still his development plank has outwitted the appeal of Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh. And moreover, in fact, as you pointed out earlier, it was Akhilesh's appeal much more than which actually permeated among the youth more than Rahul Gandhi's appeal. Rahul doesn't appeal because his party is not there. His party's programs don't reach the youth, don't appeal to youth. So these are the things which are apparent, which are basically reflecting in exit poll results.
Okay, so also, Mr. Sharad, let me just ask you a follow-up question here. Why do you think the Modi factor hasn't worked in Punjab?
The party's presence was not there. As I said, when Congress is not present in UP, when the Congress is not present in UP, Rahul Gandhi's appeal is not there in UP. When BJP is not present in Punjab, it was a minor player. The major player was its alliance partner, Shiromani Akali Dal. So basically, if it's a minor player and they are contesting very few seats, so in whatever they say, and also they had to share anti-incumbency sentiments caused because of their alliance with Shiromani Akali Dal.
Right. I believe we also have Karthik Sharma, our chief domestic correspondent, now joining us as well. Karthik, it looks like brand Modi has trumped all again. What makes Modi click in your opinion?
See, there are a couple of things here. I heard both my guests talking about Narendra Modi. I think the biggest disadvantage which Rahul has, and Sharad, bear with me, was that he did not embrace the social media technology. In fact, Rahul Gandhi was extremely reticent in actually using Facebook, Twitter and various other platforms for the use of the party. Rahul Gandhi even today does not have an individualized Twitter handle. You have a Twitter handle called Office of Rahul Gandhi. He hasn't personalized it. Secondly, Rahul Gandhi has not embraced, could not embrace, and had his own reservations about using these mediums and trying to cultivate urban constituencies. And I distinctly remember this happened post 2009. And when Congress had won 58 Lok Sabha constituencies, which were primarily in urban areas, and that is why people like Milind Devra, Sanjay Nirupam, Manish Tiwari, Kapil Sibal, all of them had come. They had come from all urban areas. So that is the problem which Rahul is having building his brand, one. Second, the bigger issue is that since in our politics, the outsiders have become insiders, the world over, Kejriwal, Donald Trump, Narendra Modi, he being a dynast has created another problem, because the whole political lexicon which has been spawned by Bharatiya Janata Party is against the dynastism in Indian politics. But if you look at the topography of our Indian political landscape, 89–90% is dynasty. You look at the Badals, you look at the Yadavs, or you look at the Lalus, or you look at the TDP, you look at the new dynasty of the Telangana Rashtra Samiti, TRS, or you look at Shiva Sena. It's all dynasty. DMK, it's all dynasty. So I think that's the problem, and it is coupled with the fact that Rahul has not been able to materialize any electoral success. And in politics, everything can be set aside if you are electorally successful. Imagine the baggage of Narendra Modi, but 2014 changed everything for him. What Rahul requires is an electoral success on his own, and that electoral success eludes him. You see, even 2009, the electoral success rested in media over the shoulder of Manmohan Singh, and that is why the slogan was "Singh is King," and that was the song which was purchased by the Congress party and ran all across the rallies. But Rahul, any state, any election, the success eludes him, and wherever the Congress party has come to power, the benefit of doubt has gone to the state chief ministers, Harish Rawat, Siddaramaiah, or even the Himachal Pradesh chief minister. So, these are the issues which confront the brand building of Rahul Gandhi. Half of it is his making, other half is inherited.
Right, Karthik, a very interesting perspective there. But Mr. Bijou, let me come over to you now. And for the benefit of our viewers, if you could tell us how exactly is a successful political brand created?
Well, if you look at political brands, they're actually crafted by design. I work with a fair number of political brands, and over the last 12 years, I have realized that, this design is actually contributed by a brief which the politician brings to you, and you craft around it whatever is meant to be crafted. In fact, every one of the people we're talking about, whether it be Mr. Narendra Modi, whether it be Rahul Gandhi, or whether it be Arvind Kejriwal, they have crafted their imageries over a period of time. Now, one important thing in electoral politics is simply this, that, a lot of brands tend to depend on winning for themselves basis the mistakes of the others. In the sense that, let's take Rahul Gandhi, and let's say if Rahul Gandhi is dependent on 2019 to say that let's win a basis anti-incumbency of the Modi government. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen in 2019. One might need to wait for 2024 for a whiff of that to actually come through. So brand Rahul Gandhi has to depend not on the mistakes of others. And I think that is the basic mistake that brands make. Brands tend to want to win basis the mistakes of others. Don't do that. Try to win basis the win of your own persona. And I think that is a tough task. Brand building is tough because you have to create positive imageries about yourself, and you should not depend upon the negative imageries of the incumbent.
Also, Mr. Bijou, in marketing theory, even the biggest brand needs to be, periodically refreshed. Do you think that is something that is needed for Rahul Gandhi, given his performance in all, at least to the exit polls, to the performance of the exit polls, given that factor, is that very much needed, a refreshing of his image and of his brand?
I think that's a very valid point that you raise. Refreshment is the ethos of a brand. Why Rahul Gandhi? I think, every brand needs a refreshment. Narendra Modi himself needs a refreshment. And I think that refreshment he got when he announced on the November 8th the demonetization. That is a complete brand refresh for him. Now, when you're a ruler, it's easy to create these brand refreshment points. because you hold the reins of everything that's out there. And Mr. Modi used it very well. But when you're in opposition, you don't have any reins to hold. You possibly don't have enough monies to control the ethos of what you want to build. So Rahul Gandhi has a tougher task. And to that extent, even Arvind Kejriwal has a tougher task. So I think these brands have to refresh themselves continuously, and most of the time these need to be positive refreshments. They need not be negative refreshments of the other brand they're competing. These brands must forget that there is a brand called Narendra Modi at all. They must focus more on building their strengths rather than depending on the weaknesses of Narendra Modi or anyone else.
Right, a very interesting perspective there, Mr. Bajur. Now, Mr. Sharad, let me just come over to you. Do you think the dependence on a single individual may hurt the overall brand in the long run?
Yeah, of course, because unless you have a second line of leadership, so it really creates problems, like as we saw in AIADMK's case. So the entire brand was Amma's brand, and as soon as she left, in whatever unfortunate circumstances, but then you don't know who the next leadership is, and they are so obscure people, means and minions, I'll say. So it does hurt.
Okay, Karthik, now let me come over to you and address you the same question there. A single brand, is that in the long run, is that harmful or is that beneficial?
See, I agree with Mr. Bajur. The next step after the refreshment comes the differentiator. How different is the brand of Rahul Gandhi from other brands? There's a brand Modi, but what is brand Modi? The brand Modi is about a person who comes from nowhere and becomes a prime minister. And brand Modi has somehow subalternized certain idioms. For example, when you use the word hard work versus Harvard, if you look at the way the Congress politics work, it's an amalgamation of little and small dynasties with the big dynasties, where the kids would go out, study abroad, come back and don the mantle of the father's work, and carry, like Jitin Prasad, and carry forward with that work Milind Devraj, Jitin Prasad, Subhash Yadav's son, or for example Sachin, who's now the PCC chief, or sons and daughters of the famous politicians, or even the president spokesperson like Santosh Mohan Dev's daughter, who is MP from Assam, or for example former Assam's chief minister's son is again an MP, or the spokesperson Salman Soz, who has gone back to New York, but he's a son of Saifuddin Soz. So the point which I'm trying to make is that there was this whole narrative of kids going out, coming back, and taking over from the father. That narrative has completely broken. But Prime Minister, through his own rebranding, changed certain idioms of the Indian politics, and that's where Rahul Gandhi is finding it difficult. It's not as if Rahul Gandhi didn't want to do that. Yes, Rahul Gandhi did it was a disastrous move to tear that cabinet tote in the press club of India in front of 50 journalists. But what was he trying to do? He was trying to behave like an outsider in a system which was being controlled by his mother. But people did not believe him. So in politics, your acts do not bring legitimacy. In politics, the position does not bring legitimacy. In politics, the legitimacy has to be through the eyes of the people, and that is why Narendra Modi is Narendra Modi today. Rahul Gandhi could have been Narendra Modi, if you could be promoted and pushed to the position of the minister or the prime minister. It's ultimately legitimacy through people which count, because it's a democracy. India is a republic, and I think that's where the problem is. And it's not as if Rahul Gandhi does not understand. He understands that there is a baggage, but he cannot escape it as of now, because something very unique to that brand is missing, which is an electoral victory, and he's not able to do it because of the succession war which is taking place in the Congress party. And it gets accentuated by the fact that Priyanka is also going to join the Congress party in 2019, because it's like an unsaid thing today that Sonia will not fight the elections. Now, anyhow, she has gone abroad for 20 days. So these are little things. These are little details which are not there in public narrative, but they are making immense difference to the Congress party, to the life of Rahul Gandhi, and to put it bluntly, it's not a you're not a brand in isolation or vacuum. Brand is always with a team in Indian context. When Narendra Modi came, there was a team Narendra Modi behind him. People were not talking about it. Amit Shah is team Narendra Modi. Bhupen Yadav is team Narendra Modi. Ram Madhav is team Narendra Modi. General Secretary E.P. Muralidhar Rao Reddy is team Narendra Modi. Straight from RSS. It's not team Vajpayee. It's not team Sushma. It's not team Rajnath Singh. It's not team Advani. There is no team Rahul Gandhi in that successful mode. You tell me what is team Rahul Gandhi. Half of within from Feb 2011 when he became vice president, today 2017 it's March, 80% of the team of Sonia Gandhi is now team Rahul Gandhi. So how do you differentiate the brand? See, a lot of things have happened simultaneously for Rahul which he perhaps wanted to avoid, but what he wanted to avoid has become his fate.
Okay, Karthikeya, thank you so much for inputs. I just want to thank all our guests talking about this brand Modi and how he has trumped pretty much everyone. But of course, only time will tell. That is, of course, till tomorrow, that who is the real brand here in that all-important 5-state assembly elections. Okay, and of course, we were covering on all that, what impact those exit polls have had on all the brands there, on brand Modi, on brand Akhilesh Yadav, on brand Rahul Gandhi. And of course, we were talking to our guests about that. And of course, a lot of questions were asked there. I mean, how is a successful brand actually even created? And why has brand Modi made over all of them and beaten all of them? And also, of course, the dependence on a single individual, will it actually hurt the overall brand in the long run? Okay, Supreme Court Justice C. Kanundan is now speaking. Let's listen in.
Mr. Court, sir, I'm going to operate my judicial power. I'm going to operate my judicial power.
So what is your reaction on this issuance of bail, issuance of warrant?
This, the order is an arbitrary order. Wantonly, deliberately issued the order against me in order to ruin my life, career.
Sir, why would they want to ruin your life?
When it is an intentional...
Intentional.
Why? So
And
is it because
Supreme
you're
Court
Intentional. Why? Already I made several allegations against Justice R.K. Agarwal, Justice M.O. Iqbal, Justice Ibrahim Khalifullah, Justice Manikumar, Justice Tanabalan, on various grounds, corruption, rape, and forgery, etc.
Sir, can we have the statement read out, please?
Yes, I give you that.
That is why Supreme Court is doing this.
Yes, the Supreme Court already I made a complaint against Supreme Court judges also. Due to prejudice of the other. Please note down. On 15/2/2016, I gave interview before the press media as well as electronic media, stating that Justice Kahar and Mrs. Justice Pandumadi issued an order against me and restraining me not to attend the judicial work and administrative work. Therefore, I gave interview before the media and I want to give direction to the Commissioner of Police in Chennai to register a criminal case against Kahar and Mrs. Pandumadi under ACS Act. Due to on the basis of my representation, based on my interview, now Justice Kahar is taking this view.
And is there any caste issue?
Caste issue. This is a caste. A Dalit Dash, you prevent not to his work in the public office. That is atrocity.
So you, sir, you are basically saying that because you are a Dalit, you are being prosecuted. That is what you have been complaining for many years now. I guess.
Yes, more than 8 years I made a complaint. Yes.
So what is the
Yes,
Dalit issue? Please just hold on, please.
I made a complaint against hearing judges, corrupted judges, the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Therefore, shoe motor contempt issued. The learned senior advocate Mr. Sandeep Bhushan filed affidavit before the Honorable Supreme Court of India stating that 9 former Chief Justice of India have corrupted. That affidavit and petition still pending before the Supreme Court. Why not initiate a similar order against learned advocate Mr. Sandeep Bhushan? Upper caste? I am Dalit. 1 month before, Satta Panchayat Advocate Association gave entry in the press media, electronic media, stating that in an Jayalalitha case, one IAS officer paid 200 crores to Justice Kumarasamy, Karnataka High Court judge. Why not initiate contempt proceedings against the Satta Panchayat Advocate Association?
Sir, you wrote a letter to Prime Minister 23rd January this year. Whole episode only because of that.
Yes, 23rd January, I wrote a letter. Why issued a contempt now itself? Copy is also sent to registry, Supreme Court registry. After that.
Sir, but you also a sitting judge, Kolkata High Court of Chennai,
Yes.
Here. You also a judge, Supreme Court 7 judges bench also passed a order against
Yes.
you.
Supreme Court, please. Supreme Court constituted a bench unusually after breaking the Indian constitutional law. Therefore, they are contemptor. They have committed contempt of their own court. They are contemptor, I am not contemptor.
And what is your reaction on Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General?
Mukul Rohatgi also not fair Attorney General. Mukul Rohatgi is not fair Attorney General.
Sir, can we have the statement read out, please?
Yes.
Sir,
So what are you going to
on
do
your
now?
letter,
Now that there is available warrant against Tom.
No, bailable warrant, I am going to stay that.
Yes, the bailable warrant.
Bailable warrant hereby
Lordship has
stayed.
asked the President of India to stay the bailable warrant. That's a part of the order. Last was the order. He is directed.
The bailable warrant issued by Supreme Court today,
To be
that
recalled.
warrant hereby stayed.
And recalled by the President of India.
Hereby stayed.
It is
But on what
They have no local stand to issue bailable warrant against the sitting judge. No provision.
yes, sir, please
No
read out the
provision.
statement. Please read out the
I mean,
statement.
it is an unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional act.
Shall I pass on the
They have to
statement or read
resign.
the-
Read first, sir. Read first. Read first.
All 7 judges they have to resign. All 7 judges they have to prosecute under SCC atrocity act.
You can read from the read from the beginning, sir. Read from the beginning.
The
Yes,
operator.
I am going to operate a judicial power in order to rectify the error committed by Supreme Court of India.
Oh, where will is this a writ petition? What is it? What is the legal standing of that note that is going to be read? What is that?
Which one, madam?
Sir, that one.
that you're reading out.
thing.
Yes, I am going to read now.
What is it called?
I am having power as per Article 220 of the Constitution, and also I am having increment power under Section 482 of CRP. Therefore, I am giving direction and passing this order in accordance with the law.
These are your judicial powers.
Yes, I am separate constitutional office. Huh?
It is an order or a petition?
It is a order
It is an order given by you.
given by you. And I am pronouncing
Against the-
Yes,
against the
I am going to pass the
CBI.
order against the Supreme Court now.
To the
CBI.
CBI.
To the CBI.
CBI to conduct an inquiry on this.
But to
How-
stay,
sir,
but to
which
stay your
court-
warrant.
Which court are you directing?
Not court, madam, investigation agency, CBI.
And you are doing this as Calcutta High Court.
Now I am
judge.
giving direction to the Director Central Investigation Bureau to conduct a detailed inquiry on the basis of my order against the erring judges, whether erring judges motive in order to harass the Dalit judge without following any procedure of law. Therefore, after conducting inquiry, the inquiry report, final report will be submitted before the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha will take the issue.
You have also directed the president.
Directed?
The president.
Not requested.
Requested.
Madam,
Requested.
first
Recall the
person of
bailable warrant
India,
issued today morning.
please, His Excellency President of India, first person of India, we all salute the President of India.
Right, so what have you
We
requested the
need not
president?
give direct, we have request.
What have you requested?
I
the
request the President, please stay the bailable warrant.
Please read the
And uplift the earlier order passed by the 7-judge bench.
Yes, sir. May we have the order read?
Please.
The operative portion of the order, which I am going to distribute to you all. Last page, in the result, I direct the Central Bureau of Investigation to register, investigate and file a report before the appropriate court. Appropriate court means the CBI court in Delhi under Article 226, which is the writ jurisdiction, and with Section 482, which is the Criminal Procedure Code, to prevent abuse of process of any court and to secure the ends of justice, invoking my inherent powers of this honorable court, that is Calcutta High Court, under the appropriate criminal provisions of the Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 and other penal provisions like the Indian Penal Code against accused persons. Now, who are the accused persons? I will read one by one. The Chief Justice of India, Justice Deepak Mishra, Justice Samaleshwar, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Justice Madan B. Lokur, Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, Justice Kurian Joseph, Mukul Rohtagi are the accused persons who have acted and given a bailable warrant today morning. And I read it for a better appreciation. And the next part of it is, I direct the Secretary Generals of the Lok Sabha, Upper House, and I further direct the Secretary General of the Rajya Sabha to place the entire facts of the case before the Speaker. Speaker means Lok Sabha Speaker. For appropriate inquiry under the Judges Inquiry Act, which is the proper course of action, for impeachment or otherwise proceedings, and to recall the bailable warrant. I request the President to recall the bailable warrant illegally issued by the Supreme Court today, that is on 10/3/2017, and to lift the non-work allotment ban. He has been banned from not working in the Calcutta High Court allocation, and to file a report within 7 weeks before this Honorable Court, posted to 31st of March 2007 for complaints and reporting of this order running up to 10 pages, for which you can have copies after His Lordship. For sake of it, he will sign these orders before yourselves. The other orders have been sent. You can take the pictures of him signing the orders and take the copies from him.
On 8/2 is
Unless
parallel.
Whatever is happening now, is it not unparalleled in the judicial history of India?
Yes, unparalleled. What they are doing is unparalleled. What we are doing also is unparalleled. Nobody takes a suo motu against a sitting judge, and that is why we have to react that way. Everything is new in India after this government has come into power, where the suppressed caste is suppressed and the upper castes are being raided about.
I can interfere with the Supreme Court proceedings only if a suo motu order passed by Supreme Court. I cannot interfere with a regular SLP, special leave petition, whether civil, criminal, or any branches of law. I not interfere with this Supreme Court with a regular appeal.
There has been
It is a suo motu contempt.
There has been no precedence of a High Court judge going against the Supreme Court, one, sir. Second, my query is, as a sitting judge, is it viable and enforceable on your part to come before media and speak? Can you speak before media as a sitting judge? Are you going with the legal provisions made?
No, this matter should reach to the general public, the national issue. National issue. Already His Excellency President of India, Honorable Prime Minister of India, and so many judges also seeking transparency in the judiciary. This is a transparency. What is the secret?
And under what provisions, sir, you are saying that you can go against the Supreme Court? The provision, if you may repeat.
226, 482 CRPC. 226 Indian Constitution, 482 CRPC. Further, the Supreme Court not trial court. Well, the Honorable Supreme Court 7th bench directed me to appear before the Supreme Court. Which box I am going to stand? Accused box or witness box? No witness box, no accused box before the Supreme Court. How Supreme Court directed me to go and appear in the before this?
Has this order been sent to CBI already?
Now he is sending now.
You're sending now.
It is going to be sent.
And to the President of India?
President of India also.
The writ petition is going to the President of India?
Writ order.
Writ order is going to the President and the Prime
President,
Minister?
I request you, President of India, restore my work. And I cancel the bail.
It is going to these following 7 persons. His Excellency the President of India, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister of India, Cabinet Secretary Union of India, Secretary General Lok Sabha, Secretary General Rajya Sabha, Registrar Supreme Court of India, the Director CBI. These are the 7 persons who are going to be the recipients of the order next to you all. The fourth estate. The fourth estate is being respected by third estate. Whether a High Court judge can come and appear before you is the respect the third estate, the judiciary is giving to the press.
Do we say this order has been issued in the Calcutta High Court? Do we say that?
Yes.
Yes, I am Calcutta High Court sitting judge, I am in power. Wherever I am, I am court. This is also now Calcutta High Court.
This is the High Court of Judicature of Calcutta.
I am sitting,
it's not an ordinary.
this is the Calcutta High Court now.
Sir, why is it that none of your colleagues have come in your support? Why didn't you appoint them?
What kind of support I want
How many people came for Arvind Kejriwal? He fought alone. He is fighting alone. Against corruption, who will come? Nobody will come. Jallikattu you saw. He came there in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu people, we have that.
What kind of support I am expecting from other judges? What kind of support I want? The physical fight going on? No. Legal fight going on. I am having sufficient legal knowledge, so I am fighting with toughest court. Therefore, other judges' cooperation no need.
Sir, you say
I am not expecting others' cooperation in this issue.
Sir, you say that there is a ban on your functioning. So while there is a ban, you can pass an order.
What ban?
You say the High Court or Supreme Court has banned you for functioning.
Ban is for portfolio allocation, not as a High Court judge of inherent powers are 482 and 226. Only a portfolio allocation like civil work, criminal work.
The initial order
June this year.
Is the initial order on 8 to 17. The first order passed by 7 judges, sumo order on 8 to 17. Say, the initial order dated 8 to 2017, the Honorable 7 judges imposed punishment, restraining me not to attend the judicial work and administrative work, thereafter seeking explanation. After getting explanation, after filing counter statement, after argument, then only they can impose any punishment if case proved against me. In this case, he first imposed the punishment and directed me to appear before the Honorable 7 judges. As such, Honorable 7 judges, motivated with bona fide intention, passed the unusual order.
Okay, that was Mr. Karnan there addressing the media. He's still addressing the media. And to talk more on this, we're joined by our senior correspondent, Palki Upadhyay. Palki, this is quite an unprecedented order. What's your take on this?
This definitely is unprecedented, a first for independent India, where a sitting judge of a high court has been issued a non-bailable warrant and the DGP of West Bengal has been asked to personally execute it. If you look at the larger implications of this, this is very serious. It's a test for the Supreme Court and its authority. Justice Karnan is trying to say that he is being targeted because he's a Dalit, but he has been involved in conflicts with various judges in the past, and he's always played the caste card, saying that he is victimized because he belongs to a particular caste and community. But if you see the way Supreme Court cases and verdicts have gone in the past couple of years, from Jallikattu to the Kaveri dispute, the courts, the top court's authority has come into question. And if a sitting judge of a court rebels against the apex court in India, then that is something that the court has to take very, very seriously. The 7-judge bench unanimously decided that they had no option but to ask Justice Karnan to appear personally, which is why this non-bailable warrant has been issued against him. And this is a test for both sides, really, as Justice Karnan now puts it, that these are malified intentions which are compelling some to act against him.
Right, Palki, also Mr. Karnan is saying that he's being persecuted because of his caste. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Has something like that ever happened before?
Not that I know of, and definitely something like this has not spilled in this manner in the public domain, with a sitting judge coming out and making these allegations. Remember, the wife of a High Court, Madras High Court judge, has also signed a petition saying that she and her family are being harassed, which is why he was transferred from the Madras High Court to a High Court in West Bengal. But the fact is, for this to come out in this manner, for judges to be openly fighting, if I may use that term, and for a sitting judge to come and question the authority of the Supreme Court and also play the caste angle, is something that we've not seen before, and it'll be interesting to say the least to see how this plays out.
And Palki, what about his allegations against those 20 judges? What more can you tell us on that front?
Well, he was transferred from the Calcutta High Court to the Madras High Court after the Chief Justice received complaints from these judges. All 21 of them signed a petition against Justice Karnan, and that is what Justice Karnan is using, saying that he is being persecuted because he is a Dalit. Of course, we'll have to see if there is any basis to these allegations, because at this point, that's all it is, an allegation, and he's saying that he will act in his authority. And he's also gone out and said that the Supreme Court is not the boss, and they do not rule the High Court. So what does the Constitution say about it? Who has the final word is something that we'll have to ask a constitutional expert. But this, of course, is an unprecedented crisis, and I call it a crisis, knowing fully well what it implies, because it has not happened in the past that a High Court judge has been summoned in this manner, and the DGP of a state has been told to personally execute a non-bailable order. He's been asked to appear before the apex court on the 31st of March.
Also, Palki, but can Mr. Karnan also go against the Supreme Court in this manner? I mean, is he within his legal right as a judge to do this?
I'm not sure if judges are exempt from this, and if the top court of the country asks you to appear in the Supreme Court and the 7-judge bench, when they gave this order for a non-bailable warrant, they would have understood what the law entails when it comes to a sitting judge and what are the privileges he or she enjoys. And if in all their wisdom they've decided that they are going to issue a non-bailable warrant against a judge, then I think I'm going to safely presume that that is what he must do by the law. Whether he chooses to follow it or not is a different question altogether, and we'll have to see, because this is going to be a difficult one for the police as well to execute. The DGP of West Bengal has been told to do it.
Right. Palki, I think we'll leave it there for now and we'll see how things pan out. But with that, we're taking a very short break, but more news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.